Hi again, Paige here with Uplyfted channel. Wanted to do another video to do or focus on advice for new drivers. Just a couple tips and tricks of things that I've learned over the last month and a half of driving for Uber and Lyft, and just wanted to give my advice out there. So a quick little video. I just posted one earlier all about the differences, some subtle differences and general differences between Uber and Lyft and tips and their riders and passengers and that sort of thing, and the community and the feel. So please take a look at that. But this is going to be all about just quick tips and advice for new drivers. And the first thing I want to let you know, I learned the hard way, is accept all rides. Okay, so you're set up with either Uber or Lyft in the rideshare program. You have your app, you have your car, you're a good driver, you have a good record, you're all approved and ready to hit the road. So what do? You turn your app on, you head on out, you start, you get all excited. It's crazy, it's cool when you hear the ping go off. And so I would really highly recommend to accept all rides as best you can. And if you're unable to, then you should really turn off your app. I learned the hard way when I was just a little tired, or I saw, and this is in the beginning stages of just becoming a driver. But I had taken maybe 10 or 12 rides, and I saw one come in, and I had gotten a little bit of advice from another video I watched on here, which, by the way, you should check out the rideshare guy. He's probably the #1 best YouTuber that I've seen, with great content, great videos, and lots of good information. He's very helpful, set up a big website, so he's very dedicated to this. I'll put a link in the description below to his channel. He probably has no clue who I am. That's fine. But yeah, I'd love him to help me out, get my channel some subscribers. Anyway, so accept all your rides. And the reason I say this is I saw one come in that said it was about 12 to 15 minutes away, and I had only done maybe 10 or 12 rides, and I just felt that was too far to go. I wanted to focus in the area I was in. I was really trying to stay in the prime zone for Lyft. And Uber has their surging zones, although they're not as readily available to see all the time. They constantly change in the app. It's another thing I'll get to soon, talking about the prime and surge between those two. But I would say accept all rides to get your power driver bonus. If you're able to do that with Lyft, you have to have more than a 90% acceptance rate. So if you have 10 rides, you got to accept at least 9 out of 10. And I was pretty close to hitting that, but I just didn't accept 1 or 2, and my rating, or my acceptance rate, went to like 89 or 88% or something, so it's just shy. So since then, I've just been trying to accept every single ride, and then also, if I'm not able to do that, just shut the app off. Take a break, do what you need to do. Other helpful things will be have a clean car. It's all about a great experience. If you're the passenger and you hop into someone's dingy 8-year-old Toyota Prius, which is more than likely what they are, most of the people are driving in, smelly, stinky stains, whatever, lint, pet hair, maybe they're a smoker, maybe they used to be a smoker, I don't know. But to have a clean car outside, but most importantly inside. People are understanding that cars get dusty, rain happens, weather happens, it's expensive to wash a car, but pick up after yourself. Just keep a clean car, no crumbles of cookies or dilapidated water bottles laying around, let alone any other crazy crap that I've seen. I've actually seen some crazy stuff on Reddit. I'm on the Lyft subreddit on there. If you don't know what Reddit is, you should check it out. It'll probably ruin your life and you'll become a nerd. It's like the end of the rainbow. Anyway, so yeah, there were some horror stories of what some Uber drivers were leaving in their car. Have offerings. So offer water if it's possible to keep it in your car or trunk, preferably not hot, and gum, mints, things like that. So that's always kind and nice. Not everyone's going to accept them. In fact, most people won't. But it's nice to be offered that. You know that the person who's driving you around is conscientious, and conversate with people. This is a driving job, but we're all people, and depending on who you're driving for, I have found that Uber passengers are usually a little more quiet and stick to their phones unless they're drinking, and then it's loud and boisterous. Most of my Lyft passengers have been very talkative and love to find out more about the experience that I'm going through, and just exchange great info with them. Have an aux cable. So if your car does have an aux in, which most vehicles that are like what 2006 or newer have aux cables, but not everyone does. So if you have one, let people know it's there. Usually they're not going to scream at you and go, "Hey, I want to play my music." So just let them know, "Hey, if you want to rock your jams, here's an aux cable." Let's talk about fuel, gas, or diesel. I use diesel, which is actually very smart. Keep a full tank as best you can all the time. You don't want to have 40 miles left on your tank, and then you just pick up a passenger and they want to go 50 miles, or they want to go 30 miles, and you're left with hardly anything. You definitely don't want to be scrambling for uh, some gas on the trip. So don't ruin your rating, or make people go out of their way or delay them from their destination. And so yeah, try to keep a full tank as much as you can. If you are beginning and you know about the surge pricing and the prime zone that Lyft does, so Uber does surge, Lyft does prime. Certain areas are going to have a higher increased of demand of riders, or passengers. So I was like, oh, gotta get there, jam over there. But what is everybody doing? Every person around you in a 10, 20 mile radius knows that, and they're all going to try to head over there, or the most of them are. So you'll be now flushed with a lot of supply and not as much demand. So if you're able to do it, great. Get over to a prime zone, awesome. If you're able to grab a ride out of there, but you never know where it's going to take you. It might take you 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes away into some Timbuktu area where there's no prime. So you really can't judge it. I try to stick close if I'm able to, but I'm not going to go too far out of my way. So many times I've been heading to a prime or a surging zone, and I got a ping, just pulled me off track, and I had to go pick up the customer or the passenger and take them where they need to go. So don't worry too much about trying to get to those zones, although they are really helpful. If nothing else is going on and you're able to get over there and it doesn't take a lot of time or gas to do it, do it. It's great. But it's unpredictable. Everything about this is unpredictable. So, just go with the flow, accept every ride, see where it takes you. One great feature that Uber has that Lyft does not have is the one-way trip feature, which you can use twice per day, where you can basically say, I'm going from point A to point B, and if there are any, riders that want to go in that same direction as me at that time, great, you'll pick them up. You won't lose a beat, still get on your destination and take them to their destination, make a little money while you're at it. So it's a super win-win. So sometimes if I get pulled off track and I go to a city I don't know, or I'm pretty far away, I can open up my Uber app and then just say, hey, take me back home. And if there's any riders along the way, fantastic. It's worked a few times. Sometimes because you're specific, you're saying, I'm going from here to here. Not every passenger is going to meet that. So, that's another little tip. Try to use that feature. And Lyft, you're not going to ever watch this, but if you are, I wish you guys had that feature. That's one thing you could learn from Uber. So that's about it for now. So just some quick advice, again, just to recap: accept all your rides, clean your car, be helpful, conversate when it's needed or warranted, have an aux cable, keep your gas tank full, and don't worry too much about the prime zones and the surging zones. Just try to pick up as many rides as you can. Again, this is Paige with the Uplyfted channel. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. Let me know any questions you have. Love to help anyone out that I can as I'm learning this, and that's why I'm doing this, because the companies don't support you too much in that area. They're like, here's your stuff, go. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Take care, and bye now.